Greetings to the Barbarian Horde, and if you're new to this channel, welcome aboard. In the last chapter, Angus was bitten by a spider the size of a small sedan. His life hanging in the balance. This is chapter 10 of the Wailing Willow. If you missed chapter 9, you probably spent your childhood cooking live ants in the sun with a magnifying glass. A much better choice is clicking the link up here or following the link in the trumpery below to catch up with what's been cooking thus far. It's a well-known fact that giant spiders will not attack anyone who's clicked the like button on this video, so be sure to click like and subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon, or a giant spider may try to nest in your ear while you're sleeping. The Wailing Willow, written and read by Brian Carey. Chapter 10. The barbarian knelt down next to Angus, who was squeezing deadly green spider venom from his wounded leg. Wulfric looked down sympathetically at the poisoned, dying dwarf. When the occasion demanded, Wulfric could be a gentleman and act with tact and diplomacy. This was not such an occasion. Instead, he commented, "So, giant spider bite. Why aren't you dead?" "We Dweller are resistant to many types of poisons." "Well, you lucky rock noggin." Wulfric shook his head. "What? Lucky?" Angus sputtered in almost outrage. "You call this lucky? You of course realize that limited poison immunity doesn't mean it doesn't hurt like the dickens." Wulfric chuckled while Angus kept squeezing and massaging his leg, trying to expel the venom. Once the blood ran red, Angus chopped away at some of the spider silk, freeing himself, and then used the silk as a bandage to wrap around his wound. Using spider silk as a band-aid is a handy first aid survival trick. Recalling that spider silk is unreasonably sticky, it should also be perversely interesting to witness the inevitable moment when he has to rip the band-aid off. "Here, let me help you up," Wulfric offered. "I don't need any help," he protested. He took Wulfric's hand and pulled hard. "A Dweller never needs any help. None at all." Angus leaned on the barbarian's arm for support before putting the weight on his hurt leg. He tentatively leaned on the injured leg, progressively adding weight until he felt comfortable enough to stand on his own. "You see, I told you, a Dweller never needs any help." Wulfric rolled his eyes. "Oh yes, I can see that now." "By the way, laddie, great job with that log attack." Wulfric beamed with pride. "And the dragon's fire attack, that was good. I should have thought of that one myself." "You know, laddie, you can never go wrong thinking, let's kill it with fire." Warmer words are seldom heard. Now let's get out of here and hope there's no more of those whatever big Barkus spiders in the tunnel. One moment before we go." "What's wrong, Angus? You don't look so good." It feels like I didn't get all the venom out." "Oh, Drek. I thought you said you were immune. What's gonna happen? You're not gonna die, are you?" "Dweller's body, as a natural process whereby poisons can be eliminated." "A natural process? Do I even want to know this?" Angus leaned over, clearly suffering. "Stand back, lad. I'm going to chunder." After some involuntary gut-wrenching to clear the remaining poison from his system, Angus stood still, as if checking for something. Wulfric turned away, revolted. "Well, that was horrifying. How did you not get any of that in your beard? Now what? You're okay, right?" "What? Just tell me. Are you gonna chunder again?" Wulfric demanded. I don't think I got it all." Pain racked the Dwemer's face. A sudden, completely unexpected noise startled both of them. The sound resembled that of someone prying a nail out of a board, or perhaps an ancient door squeaking on its rusted hinges. Though in no one's imagination could the sound possibly be construed as... "Yes?" a dumbfounded Wulfric exclaimed, not knowing whether to scream or giggle. "Is that green gas coming out of your barkus?" A look of complete relief washed over the Dwemer's face. "Now don't inhale that backdraft, lad. It's poisonous." "It's green gas." Wulfric's disbelief at this warning was palpable. "I'm looking at a floating green cloud. I'm not breathing that. I mean, it pretty much goes without saying, don't you think?" After some further boisterous and indignant discussion, Angus accompanied Wulfric in ascending the debris heap to the cleft in the wall. Angus again needing absolutely no help whatsoever, because dwarves. They peered inside and held the torch aloft. "It's not a tunnel at all." Wulfric's heart sunk. "It's just a small cave that leads to... well, it's too small for us to fit. There's no way out." Angus stared at the various formerly mummified bodies in the spider's lair. "The creature must have crawled in when it was small and grew fat on dire rats rustling in from the cold." "We've no choice. We have to go back through Wailing Willow's room. It's our only way out," Wulfric groused. "We did all this for nothing." "I'm not sure it was for nothing, lad." Angus pointed at a particular body. "Have a look at that one." Wulfric dropped down into the spider's lair. The room smelled like burned bacon. The floor was still tacky. He investigated the body, and Angus noticed and discovered it was wearing a gold chain around its neck, with one half of a broken heart attached. Wulfric recognized it. "Where have we seen this necklace before?" "Indeed." Angus scratched his beard. "That must be Matthias. No wonder he never came back for his beloved." "You mean besides the fact that she can turn her face into an evil skull?" "I'd have fed myself to the spiders too." "I'm assuming she didn't figure that trick out until she died. But this does give me a wee idea. We might be able to rescue your brother Dane after all." Wulfric climbed back out of the spider's den, and the two had a conversation about how to proceed with Willow. Little good resulted, but it killed time as they strode back to Willow's chamber door. Blue light shone undulating from beneath the door as cold swirls of air seeped through. And that is nature's way of proclaiming, "Do not enter." Nevertheless, our intrepid adventurers lack the genetics, or perhaps even the concept of fear. They boldly entered the ghostly chamber without hesitation. "I'm not going in there first." Angus shook his head. "Just go. You distract her." "I distracted the spider." "It worked, right?" "I can't go first. In case you've forgotten, I was just bitten by a spider the size of a halfling's worship temple." "Your legs were gimpy before the spider bit you." "What? How dare you? My legs are already fine, Mr. Lanky Shanks. I would go first, but I'm recovering from a legitimate injury." "Likely excuse, and technically it's only a bug bite." "A bug bite?" Angus displayed what we shall heretofore affectionately christen the stink eye. Wulfric could see Angus was working up quite a lather. "Fine, I'll go first, but this is on you if I die. You know I'm not immune to ghost poison like you are." "Ghosts don't have poison!" "And how do we know that?" Wulfric opened the door, not sure what mood Willow would exhibit. The baby was, for the moment, gone. Dane's body drifted around the room, stiff as a board. "You!" Willow exclaimed from within Dane's body. Her multi-octave voice felt like an arsenal against the ears. "Where is Matthias?" Wulfric felt strange talking to his brother's body, but the blue and white light beaming from his eyes and mouth left no doubt that it was Willow's ghost he conversed with. "I have tragic news of your beloved," Angus piped up. "Tragic? What do you mean tragic? Do not tell me. I refuse to know. Matthias will come for me. He promised." Willow spun Dane's body around and floated to the other side of the room. "If you want to know when Matthias will come, you only have to tell me what this is." Dane's body, now covered with a faint blue aura, turned to see what Wulfric was holding. Willow's expressions shone through Dane's face. "The split-heart necklace!" Dane's hand clutched his neck for a ghostly version of the same necklace. It belongs to my beloved Matthias, the other half of my whole. She thought for a moment. But how did you... He would never give it to you. He would never give you this, not ever. He never took it off. Never would he remove it from his neck, not in life or in... death, Wulfric finished. Matthias has gone ahead. He waits for you there, in the after, Angus intoned kindly. No! No! He can't be dead! How long have I waited in vain? How long could I have been with my immortal beloved? No! As she screamed, Dane's body dropped to its knees, then to the floor. Willow's body beamed with blue light as she wailed in agony. Wulfric and Angus ran to Dane and pulled him away. Dane, are you all right? Wulfric shook his brother by the shoulders. Willow wailed one last time. Her scream was loud, NASA loud, and deafening to the others in the room. Her ghostly body began to disapparate and disintegrate into pure white beams of light that shot straight up into the ceiling above. The room was at once filled with brilliance pouring straight up. The baby appeared, and he too melted into light beams flashing heavenward up through the wooden ceiling, until all at once, it was gone. Angus held the torch, the only remaining light source in the room. Dane, speak to me, brother. Wulfric, so cold. It was terrible. In my mind, I could see and hear everything. I could think my own thoughts, but I couldn't control my own body. I'm so sorry I attacked you. Don't give it another thought, brother. Tears streaked down Dane's cheeks. I'm so sorry, Wolfie. I tried so hard. Dane started opening and closing his fists, enjoying controlling his own body once more, or more likely, reassuring himself that he could. Angus smiled. Aye, that's a wee tender moment, you lanky shank brothers. Apparently humans do have feelings. Now gather up your wits, lads. Let's head up. We've more than earned a meal and a night of rest. Not to mention, my leg needs some healing. Your leg? You mean that bug bite from earlier? Oh, you're treading on thin parchment, lad. Thin parchment. The trio journeyed back up to the now inaccurately named Wailing Willow Tavern to reap what they have sown. Have these gallant and audacious adventurers actually accomplished what they set out to achieve? Perhaps there will be absolutely no unfavorable consequences resulting from their actions. It must be pointed out that tales of bravery and daring do will often conclude on a positive, encouraging, or optimistic point in the narrative. This caters to individuals less tolerant of incessant danger, suspense, or the ever-lurking yet oft-times dreaded cliffhanger ending. While it is indisputably evident this adventure remains far from complete, the timid of heart should feel free to believe that this is the happily ever after moment so fervently desired, where the good guys won, the bad guys lost, and nothing dreadful, deadly, disastrous, horrific, or even somewhat unsatisfactory ever happened to our heroes ever again, ever. Conversely, the stalwart might propose that the briefest of peeks into what transpired next couldn't possibly be deleterious to mental health or physical well-being. Honestly, how bad could it be? So, Wulfric, Angus, and Dane have survived. So far. But there's one chapter left. Will our heroes ascend the stairs to a hero's welcome? Or does further peril await? Hey, seriously, do me a solid and share this video series with a friend. Click the like button, the subscribe button, and click the bell icon. I'd really appreciate it. Now, are you feeling brave? Do you want to peek into what happens next in the final chapter? Just click right over here, and you will see Chapter 11. Unexpected Conclusion is up next.